What do you enjoy most about playing Renee?
Oh boy, Renee has really been a dream role for me. She's just been, this real raw character that I think I've been really craving as an actor. And I've gotten to really do a lot of things I've never gotten to do as an actor, and it's been a challenge in the best way. So I just have really enjoyed every single second of being a part of this show and getting to play Renee.
Now, of course, Renee has many layers and many sides to her. She's a mother, but she's also an ex-addict. She works in a strip club. So I wanted to ask you, first of all, how did you build this character? And what was the most challenging part of the role for you?
Yes. So, usually when I get a character, I try to find ways that I relate to them. And Renee, it was one of those situations where I had to really open myself to her perspective because there weren't a lot of similarities with our lives in real life. And that's been a really mind-opening experience for me, being able to dive into a character that lives in a world that I know nothing about. And so I definitely had to try and prep and learn more about that world. One of the things being learning how to dance. And I will tell you, when I booked the role, I could not touch my toes. So that was one of the most challenging parts, was not only learning how to dance, but really find the confidence that she as Candy has on stage. Because inside that wasn't natural for me at all. But I trained and I learned so much from these incredible women that taught me. And a lot of the dancers on the show were just so incredibly supportive and really brought out a side of me I didn't know existed. So it was the most challenging, but also the most rewarding in some ways part of the role.
Hightown tackles the opioid epidemic, which is a very pressing public health issue in the US. And some studies also have shown how during the first lockdown, the cases of addiction actually increased. So also in light of the show, how do you see this issue being handled today?
Yeah, I think it's something that needs to be talked about more. And I think it's a real issue that's been a real issue for a long time. And even though our show is, based in Cape Cod, it really could have been made anywhere in the country because the issue exists everywhere. And I think part of the goal of the show is also to humanize these people. These aren't, these terrible people that, a lot of people get involved with it through prescriptions from their doctor. And there's just, I would hope that people can open their eyes to see that these aren't bad people and that it is a real issue. And it's something we need to talk about. It's something that we need to have education about and ultimately find a way to give people help and inspire them to be on a road of recovery, because it really is an epidemic and it really is heartbreaking and something that should have attention.
Now, back to your character, can you tell us a bit about your friendship with Amari Nolasco? How did you work on the relationship between your characters?
Oh, Amari is incredible. I remember when he first auditioned, and I was testing with him, so I was behind the camera, and I just knew immediately that was Frankie. And it's funny because he plays, this dark character, but in real life, I'm sure, as you know, is the most, upbeat, kind, funny, wonderful human being. So he keeps me laughing constantly on set. He plays pranks on me. He gets me every time. And we just have a really close bond on and off set. And I think it's allowed us to have that chemistry as our characters as well.
Now, of course, without any spoilers, can you tell us a bit about Renee's future in the show?
Yes, without any spoilers. I think we find Renee in season 2 still a survivor, still a fighter, and still continuing to fight for a better life for her and her son. And I think she's really willing to sacrifice anything and everything to get that. but I think she's still confused a little bit on what that looks like. But I think we find her in a much stronger position than we did last year. I think last season she was kind of the pawn in the game. And this season, I'd really consider her a game player. So I would, not underestimate Renee.